All right. Hello everybody, thank you for coming tonight. My name is Scott Harris. We appreciate you coming over and taking a look at Zija International. We're going to go kind of quick tonight. We've got a lot of good information for you, a lot of excited people that want to share some stories. I'm going to do mine very quickly first. About 20 years ago I saw this industry for the first time. I had been a ag major in college, was in the Marine Corps Reserves, got out of college, couldn't get a decent job anywhere, got frustrated, got tired of doing just hard labor jobs, and I decided I was going to start my own business. 4 or 5 businesses later, $80,000 in debt. I was pretty depressed, and a friend of mine introduced me to the network marketing industry. I'd never heard anything really good about it. Everybody I ever heard talk about network marketing talked about Amway or Mary Kay or Avon, and they always acted like it was a bad thing. And even though I'd never seen it myself, I got it in my head that network marketing was a bad thing. And here I was, $80,000 in debt, none of my businesses worked, and a friend of mine made me drive from Louisville to Paducah to see this opportunity that he told me he had. And when I walked in, I said, oh my gosh, this is like Amway. So I sat down and had my arms crossed. I was like, I can't believe he made me drive all the way from Louisville to Paducah to see something like Amway. And you know what? I knew nothing about Amway. I didn't know that they've probably produced more millionaires than any other company on the face of the planet. And network marketing has definitely produced more millionaires than any other industry. So I was just sitting there in a bad mood watching my friend do a presentation. And at the end, they popped in a VHS video. See, they didn't have DVD back then. It was VHS, the tapes, right? Some of us remember those. And on that tape, this guy came out, and he said, I don't care who invited you here today. Let me tell you, don't base this opportunity on them. And I would like to share that with everybody here today, too. He said this. He said, I've had my own business. I've been a multi-millionaire. The man was worth $300 million at the time, right? And the video played, they showed his mega yacht and showed his car museum with all these Lamborghinis, right? I'm a young guy and I'm like, oh my God, Lamborghinis. That was all I had to see. But he said a lot of other things like, no one has ever taught you how to be a successful business person. No one's ever shown you how to do it. If they had, you probably wouldn't be in this audience today. And I'm going, wow, how did he know? Well, when he finished talking, let me tell you, I was excited. And instead of sitting there with my arms crossed like some idiot, I raised up in my seat. And when he stopped talking, they turned the video off. I said, I'm in. Don, I didn't have to think about it at that point. I realized I had tried everything else, and none of them worked for me. And I got excited, right? And when I got started in that company, they had people that could teach me things that I didn't know. First thing they did was say, read stuff like this, Think and Grow Rich. And you know what, Larissa? I didn't go, well, I really don't like to read. Because you know what, a lot of people, if they haven't been successful before and someone successful tells them to do something, they want to fight against it. Not me. Guy's worth $300 million. Someone's making $100 grand a month or something like that says, you need to read this book. I took it home and I forced myself through it. It wasn't an easy read. And then I went back and talked to him about it. He said, you need to read it again. I'm like, again? He said, yep, I think you'll get more out of it this time. I went home and read it again. Then I read this book, Rhinoceros Success. It's almost like a children's book. But I read what they told me to read. Then they told me to start listening to things like this in my car if I was going on trips or driving further than 10 minutes. So I could learn about success from people like Zig Ziglar and Jim Rohn. And you know what? The way I started thinking was more success principles instead of just thinking about the things I used to think about driving down the road, which was my music going and how fast I could pass cars, right? Does that make sense? So then I started, if you think about it, guys, when I was a kid, my parents taught me a lot of important things about life. Can you guys agree? Can everybody agree that our parents taught us a lot? They taught me don't run through the house with scissors, right? They taught me don't go in the Minute Mart with a stocking cap over your head for any reason, right? I mean, I'm just kidding. But they taught me about morals. They taught me about a lot of good stuff, but neither one of them had ever been successful in business. They couldn't teach me about finances. So what I would highly suggest is whoever invited you over here, we've got a group of leaders that we've all tapped into. And because of that, because of those leaders back then, I was able to make a 6-figure income. That's over $100,000 a year, 20-something years ago, right? So eventually that company had some issues and they went out of business. But I took what I learned from them and I got in corporate America. And to make a long story short, I worked my way very quickly up a scale from sales up to the CEO point in a publicly traded company. Right now I'm the CEO of a company here in town. They're traded on the public market. I don't say that to try to make myself important. The reason I say that is, had I not been in network marketing, you know my background. I was in the Marine Corps Reserves and I was an ag major, right? Where's my training at to be a CEO of a public company? Never. I didn't have any of it. But by working with those people and reading those type of books and having some leaders spend some time with me and support me, I quickly realized if I did what they said, things worked. My income went up, my attitude got better, I got more excited about life. The more fun you have in this industry, the more money you make, the more money you make, the more fun you have, the better your attitude is, right? And you can help other people. you get all the stuff out of the way, like cars and houses and all that. Then you get to kind of help others like the people helped you when you got started. So what I'd like to do is introduce you to a few people that are leaders here in this Bowling Green market, and they're going to just tell like a 1 to 2 minute brief snapshot of their story. And after this is over, if someone really, one story may catch you more than others. When this is over, be sure and go talk to them about how they got started and why they got started, because in the whole world, I think Zija probably has the most leaders in this company that can show you how to get to the next level. Can we start with Casey, please?
All right.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. And it's a privilege to get to share. I'm honored that you consider me a leader in this company, and I just lead with passion. I got really excited about some immediate results I had with the products because a dear friend shared them with me. I lost 20 pounds in my first month. I've been without migraines for as long as I can remember. My son had sinus and allergy issues. Well, he hasn't in over 2.5 years, period, where he was at the doctor twice a month prior. So the products work for me, and when something works that well, you get excited, you start to share. Started sharing, in my 5th month, Zija made my house payment. So, hey, maybe I should tap into the business side of this and do it right and plug into the leaders we have and start mimicking what they're doing. Started doing that, and then now we have business in multiple states and a couple foreign countries. Still teaching full time because I do it out of passion. It doesn't fill the pocketbook, but this opportunity can, and we can help a lot of people. So, Scott, again, thank you for allowing me to share that.
Anytime.
And
thank you, Casey.
I look forward to hearing the next testimonies.
All right. How about next we ask Mr. Tyler Berry to come up and share his story.
Put me on the spot.
Thanks, Tyler. Give him a hand.
I got started with this 3.5 years ago. A friend of mine, Jonathan Knapp, who shared with Kevin Brassell, shared with me. He and my wife worked together in physical therapy. He was a physical therapist. She was a PTA, a tech, and different things under him. But anyway, he shared this with us, and he said, I know you got some allergy and sinus issues. You might want to take a look at this. And from a product standpoint, I had results right away. Loved the product. Was never going to stop using it. But on the other hand, I was very, very business-minded. Not very business-minded. I was broke mentality, paycheck to paycheck. Only thing I knew was work a job, what I've been taught. Get good grades, get a good job, work until you're 65. But as I saw things happen for Kevin, as I saw things happen for Jonathan, I began to think to myself, if this product is as good as I know it is, and the business can do this for me, why would I not try to build another stream of income? So I did that, took some steps to listen, not just to hear what people were saying, but to actually listen and implement some things into a business that could help me form another stream of income. So I did that. Things started happening. About 1.5 years later, I was able to walk away from a 10-year career. Now I do this full time. However, whatever that means for you. Some people full time it means 15 hours a week. Some people it means 20. Some people it means 60. But it's up to you. Full time is whatever you want to make it. So I love it. I absolutely love every second of it. I mean, seriously, working with Scott Harris and hanging out with people like Casey and Marty, all you guys, just people that are positive. And are looking to make themselves better, their family, and their friends better. It's a no-brainer. So, with the last thing, keep an open mind. Right? When I was first introduced to this, I was like, nah, I'm not going to do that business. That's for people that can't get a real job, right? So, keep an open mind, listen to information, do your homework, and ask questions. If you've got questions, definitely ask them. There are tons of leaders here they can answer. So if I can help you, let me know. All right.
Thank you, Tyler.
Yes, sir.
Tyler, what's more fun, working this full-time or working a job full-time?
Let me check. This.
Guys, I'm going to kind of throw the second part of my story out there real quick. I told you what I'm doing right now for corporate work, but I didn't tell you how I saw Zija. About 3.5 years ago, a good friend of mine, Brandon Hayes, who used to work for me at the company I run now, he came up to me and said, Scott, I know you were involved in network marketing before. I'd like you to take a look at this new company that I found. I'm really excited about it. And I think in the back of my mind, because that other company went out of business, I didn't give him a fair shot. And I said, I'm too busy, Brandon. I'm getting ready to be the CEO. I've got 2 kids. They play sports. I gave him every excuse. I got my excuse bag out, man. I was digging in there because he kept coming back to talk to me about it, right? But the first day he said, well, we're friends, man. You'll try my product, won't you? I said, absolutely. Guys, I'll try any friend's product. right? As long as it doesn't have to do with illegal drugs, I'll try it, right? So I tried this product. I went to the gym. I used it. I knew it worked. One of my failed businesses was a gym, so I've tried lots of products in gyms. I knew this product worked. It made me feel great. Now, when I first tried it, that was me over here in 2009, and this is me now. Do you think it might have helped me?
Wow.
Now, Zija's not medicine. We don't make any medical claims, okay? Zija's nutrition. But when you start using good nutrition and your body gets what it needs, it's amazing how much better you feel. And when you feel better, you can work out and exercise, and you start thinking about trying to eat a little bit better, and things start to get... I was taking 8 prescription meds at the time. Now I take 1. Does that tell you anything? Things can change. They can change for me. They can change for you guys. I'm nobody special. I just use these products religiously for a few years. You know, when you start using something and it works... Even though I knew in the back of my mind I wanted to do this, you know. Brandon was Mr. Persistence. He'd still come to me about every 3 or 4 months, and I'd get my bag out. Finally, I was reaching down there. There wasn't a lot of excuses left, right? And then all of a sudden he called me one night and he goes, "Hey, did you know someone bought the house next to you?" And the house next to me was for sale. And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "That's a friend of mine. I'll come over tomorrow and introduce you." Well, at this point, think about this a minute. I was 47 then. Brandon was 26. He was driving a Mercedes-Benz sponsored by the company. He wasn't paying for it. The company was, right? 26. And he had already quit his corporate jobs. He had 3 jobs at one point. He had no jobs anymore, and he was basically semi-retired. He was working the Zija business. I, on the other hand, was old enough to be his father and was working like a slave at work and had to go every day, but yet I wouldn't look at his opportunity. That don't really make a lot of sense. Well, the next day, he introduced me to Kevin Brassell, who was moving in over here. And being in sales most of my life, I said to Kevin, "What do you do for work?" And he goes, "Oh, Brandon didn't tell you?" And I'm thinking, oh my God, this guy's either a hitman for the mafia or what's the deal? And he said, "I've been involved with Zija now for about 4 years." And I said, oh my gosh, you know, just to make the story shorter, I'm going to tell you, I went in the house, I Googled Zija to see who the CEO was, and people always ask me, "You mean you used these products for 3 years and you didn't Google them?" Who in here has ever drank a Red Bull, a 5-Hour Energy, a Monster, a Superstar, Rockstar Energy, a Starbucks coffee? Come on, raise them up high. Did you go Google it first?
No.
And how many of us have been using those for years? Have you Googled them?
No.
No, you just go use it, right? So seriously, I Googled the company. I saw who was running the company and who the CEO was. I'm not even going to give that surprise out because you'll see that again in just a moment. And I walked in and told my wife, I said, "We're going to join. And we're going to get both of our sons involved." They're 14 and 15 years old now. We had to wait a couple weeks for Caesar, my youngest, because he wasn't 14 yet. And I said, what we're going to do is teach them the attitude of success, get their mentality right while they're still younger. And when they get out of college one day, they'll have a choice. They want to work their Zija business full-time, or do they want to go out and do whatever career they want and not ever have to have a boss standing over them? It's pretty exciting to me. But it took, I hate it when people say, "How long did it take you before you joined?" I want to say 3 minutes, but I can't. I have to say 3 years, right? Because I didn't look. So keep your mind open today. Ask all the questions you need. And I'd like to ask Miss Annell Becker if she'd come up and tell her story real quick.
Sure, I will. Thank you for
You're welcome.
having us all here tonight. And you know, this is what I've learned in the Army is the KISS concept. Is keep it simple, silly. I won't say the STUPID word, but just keep it simple, and that's what this is. It's a simple, duplicatable business that you can share with others and watch others' lives change. And why am I here today? Because I was in a downward spiral. I was getting old, cranky, and felt like crap. So you keep your mind open and think, do you know anybody who wants to improve their health, who's in some pain, who wants to lose a few pounds, who wants to make a little extra money? And when I got involved about 3 years ago, I was looking for something for sure for my health. I had retired from the Army with a lower back disability. I had a passion for running, but I couldn't because of the pain. I was on several different medications for my pain, for allergies. I was gaining weight, couldn't lose it because I was in the middle of menopause. I didn't know that this is something that would help that, but if you know anybody who's getting there or is there already, it does. I have no longer any symptoms of it, no night sweats, hot flashes. My attitude is so much better than it used to be. I've lost 22 pounds. I'm running again. Last year I ran 14 5Ks competitively. And that's pretty good for an old lady, okay, in my 50s. So I'm really, just fired up because even at my age, I can feel better. It does have anti-aging benefits too, by the way, so I take advantage of those. This year now I'm going to do a triathlon, believe it or not, in June. I've never done one in my life, but because of what these products can do and what they've done for me, I'm going to go for that goal this year. The business is incredible. I knew nothing about it. Wasn't really interested, but it was my husband who knew that we knew a lot of people who could benefit from the products. And how dare us take the product and not share it with others and let other people also get the benefit we've seen. So we got in the business head first, got our initial investment back quickly, got ourselves out of credit card debt, and been able to do things now that we would have never dreamed we could have because of this business. So thank you very much for letting me share.
I think it's just so awesome. We've got so many great leaders here in Bowling Green. It's all about support, guys. Even the company I worked with before, I did really good with them. I made good money. But the support system they had was nowhere near what I've seen here with these leaders in Bowling Green, Kentucky. There's more free Mercedes rolling around Bowling Green per capita than probably anywhere in the world. I believe it was our end of our 3rd month we were able to qualify for the Mercedes. You think my wife's pretty happy driving a Mercedes that Zija sponsored, right? She's like, that Zija stuff works, right? She hadn't had but one migraine headache in the last 9 months. She used to have one almost every week. I mean, that's just crazy to think what this stuff can do, the anti-inflammatories and things. It's amazing. So we got a couple more great stories tonight. Folks, if you come back here, you might not hear as many stories the next time, but when we've got this many leaders here, I'm going to take advantage of it. Marty, would you mind coming up?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Marty!
Hey, I'm Marty Eubanks, and I'm a martial artist. I have a school here since 1978, and I've been doing karate for 42 years. Good to see young people here just kind of really thinking, man, you know, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to do this business. You know, Chris Estes' little girl does it. You know, probably as good as some of us. But you know what? I love what I do, and the support is great from Annell to Casey to Kevin, so many different people. But, you know, I got into this 3.5 years ago, the first time. Kevin had me in a headlock, working me over pretty good. So, therefore, but he shared, no, I'm just kidding, he didn't do that. He shared his son, Chaz, with me at my karate school, and I thought I owed him a favor to do something back, which was called a $330 package. And needless to say, he was doing me the favor, but I couldn't see the message. You know, and when that happens, I go, man, why didn't I listen? Because if we would slow down the fast pace of life and listen to how God talks to us, we would be amazed. But we're all hustle and bustle, run, run, run. Go do this. What are you doing? Nothing, but I gotta go. You know, that's the way life works. But you know what? You know, I'm glad he shared Chaz with me, and I did the little package of $330, and I did absolutely nothing. You know, I did the product. I knew it worked because it started helping my joint pain. I'm about 80% pain free. I can grab my shin and pull it all the way up my rear end when I couldn't do that. I could cut my own toenails. My wife don't have to cut my toenails. That's sick. You know, tie my own shoes. I mean, you know, I was stoving up pretty bad. But this business, the product works. The business is even better. I started seeing some. You know, I did 13-20, and I come out of the gate shooting. You know, but other than that, I have slowed down just a little bit because I went through the warm market. Now you got to really get to work because that's going to happen. You know, and you got to keep trudging. Next type of thing. You know, now is next. That's what you got to do. And you know, I'm bumfuzzled with different things of what this does in people's life. You know, I mean, you can watch all over the country how people are driving. I only see 1 or 2 Mary Kay pink Mercedes, pink Cadillacs in town, but I see a whole lot of silver Mercedes.
That's right.
And there's going to be a few more. So that's pretty cool to watch that. It's there. All you got to do is run with it. You know, believe, trust, and keep your eyes on Him. Everything else falls in place. So thank you very much.
Guys, that makes me think of something too, by the way. If you have a spouse and they're not here with you, or if you're here without your parents, right, and you go home and you say, man, I saw this company and people are taking this stuff and now they don't have to take their drugs anymore and they're getting free Mercedes and this one guy don't have to clip his toenails, and, right? And all of a sudden, if you expect you to go home and say that and they're going to go, oh, that's great, let's go enroll together and do that. You're wrong. Right? You need to bring them to one of these and let them meet people themselves and see for themselves. Because think about it, if someone walked up to you and tried to tell you everything they saw in an hour and condense it into about 30 seconds, you'd be like this. No way. Right? First time I got involved in this industry, my brother looked at me and said, you didn't give them any money, did you? And I'm like, give who any money? Yeah, I got started. And he goes, oh my God, you need to get a real job that's got, what's the word? Security. You need benefits. And I said, no, you need benefits, man. I need to do something different with my life. What I've been doing ain't working, right? And because my brother said that to me, it kind of made me mad. It made me want to go even harder. And when I was making $10,000 a month, miraculously, he decided he was going to enroll in that company, right? Now, like Marty said, he enrolled, he didn't do anything, and then about 6 months later, he said, I haven't made any money. I said, and you're not going to. You can't sit at home and watch TV and wait for all the money to roll in the door. It takes work like any other business, right? But whatever you do, don't go home and try to explain this to people. You got to bring them home. Right? That's the only way it's going to make the most sense. Now, let's see. I've saved a couple of really good ones here for last. First, I think I'm going to ask Fabian. He's my son. He's 15 years old. He's made it to the first leadership level of the company. They call it bronze, right? And I don't want to steal the story from you, so Fabian, would you mind sharing your story?
Okay, my name is Fabian. I go to Greenwood High School. I'm a sophomore. I play soccer and I run track. And I enrolled in July of 2013. And at first, they would say that it was an equal, opportunity and everything, but I thought that it wasn't true because I thought it was only for grown-ups to do this business. And then a couple months went by and I see my dad with the free bins, and I still kind of just blew it off with, oh, he's only in that because he's a grown-up and all that stuff. And then I think around October, I heard a story about a guy from Murray State University.
Yep.
He was a basketball player, and he reached what my dad took 2 months to reach. He reached that in 1 week, and then he got bench qualified in 1 month, and he was 22 years old. So I thought that was really crazy because he didn't have a college degree or anything. He was out of high school, and he managed to get a free Mercedes-Benz in 1 month. Most people can't even do that in countless months.
Right.
So that was really crazy. So I guess that kind of motivated me. So back after fall break, I started getting after it, and since July, I've made $5,000. And I'm not saying that to brag or be self-centered. I'm saying that because this really is equal opportunity. I mean, I don't have any high school degree or anything. I mean, I guess my last degree is from middle school. That's what counts. So this really is an equal opportunity. You have a lot of support here because I wouldn't have made it anywhere where I am now if it wasn't for others helping me.
All right. Now, when I was 15, there ain't no way you could have even made me get up here and tell my story. And I definitely wouldn't have got it right. I think that's awesome. And we were talking the other night, Fabian and I were, and it would take, think about that, $5,000. How many hours would you have to work at $8 an hour, right? When I was 15, I was mowing yards. I was like, that'd be like a gazillion yards that I would have had to mow, right, to make $5,000. I think it's somewhere around 600 hours that he would have had to work, something like that, close to 600, to make that kind of money. And I mean work, show up, have a boss, have to punch in, punch out. When here we get to invite friends over, they get to see what we're doing, try our products, fall in love with them like we did, right? And actually make money doing it. It's pretty awesome when you can do this with your kids. We have more in common with Zija than we ever have with anything else. I love to go watch them play soccer. I love to go watch them run track. But other than that, we don't watch the same TV shows. We don't watch the same movies. We don't listen to the same music. Well, me and him do a little bit sometimes. But it's just amazing that him and his friends, Hunter and some of his other friends, have really got going with this. And I'm so proud of him. Now I'd like to ask Don to come up and share his story. He has an amazing story that I never heard till a couple of weeks ago at Annell's house and blew my mind. Don.
Well, I wasn't prepared for this and haven't done it before. So anyway, you can bear with me. Mine is mainly product oriented from the standpoint of what it's meant to me physically. I have had a heart attack in 2001. I had congestive heart failure in 2008. I had quadruple bypass in 2011. Okay, I have a neuropathy from diabetes that is a nerve damaging thing where the neuropathy medicine, I wouldn't leave the house without it because it's pain. I mean, sometimes I think I'd stepped in a puddle of cold water when there wasn't no water. I mean, just stuff like that. But a lot of pain at night, keep me awake at night. My blood pressure, of course, was out the roof. My blood sugar was out the roof. Started losing my vision. Didn't know what was going wrong. I kept thinking, I thought I got something in one of my eyes, and I was neglecting it. And finally, it got so bad I had to go see, and it was the diabetes. I started knee pain. Next thing went out was my knees. Of course, been heavy all my life, and arthritis from my mom, the generational thing going on. So anyway, but all of a sudden my knees, one morning woke up, my knees were swelled up that big around. And I went to the doctor, and they said that they x-rayed them, and they said that the only hope was knee replacement. And but they gave me all these pain meds and stuff. I was on 11 medications at that time. They say the average when you come out of open heart surgery is about 11, and then you'll end up being on 15 or 16 before long. They keep adding medicine to counteract the side effects of the medication you're already on. So you're getting medicine. Okay, I couldn't even remember how to take it all. I had to set my bottles in certain order so I'd make sure and not be sidetracked, or I'd love to take the same one twice. But anyway, I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I'm a praying man. I believe in the Lord, and He's led my life, and He's directed my life to the point that if I would listen better, as someone said earlier, I would have been a whole lot healthier a long time ago. I thought my body had let me down, and the good Lord showed me that I had let my body down. I weighed 500 pounds not too long ago. I lost a bunch of that before Zija. Since Zija, I've lost 70 some more. The Zija changed the plateau that I got to. The doctor finally got tired of telling me I need to lose more weight, and he started saying, well, at least you hadn't gained any, just so I wouldn't get feeling so bad.
Right.
But I kept praying, Lord, you're going to have to do something about my body, because I was miserable, I was worthless, couldn't do nothing. I was to the point that, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I was ready to die, because I wasn't no good for my family. I was miserable. I don't know if you could put my picture on that screen. I don't know if you have it to where you could, but if you looked at it, everybody would look at my gut, when I would recommend you look at my face, because I was so miserable, and it shows in that face. I didn't even know it until recently. I asked my daughter if she had any pictures of me. She gave me that one, and I looked at that, and I saw my face. I thought, my God, look at my face. I'm miserable.
I'll pass it around.
And I was at a family gathering, and I was miserable. Well, that's how I lived, and I thought everybody else was miserable, just to be honest with you. But I was praying one morning again about my knees, about everything that I tried to do was going wrong, and actually a friend of my wife's that used to work with her had been telling her that she had a product that would help my knees. And I wasn't listening, it was going one after the other, because you hear that stuff all the time, you know. And I was sitting there praying one morning, and I felt like the Lord reminded me of a story that I'd heard years ago, where a guy had been trapped in a flood on the roof of a house. And he was praying for the Lord to save him, and he sent him a boat, and the guy said, no, never mind, the Lord's taking care of me. And sent another one, and then he sent a helicopter and all this, and finally he said, Lord, I thought you were going to save me. And he said, I've done sent you 3 or 4 different ways out of here. You know, basically you're not listening. Well, I heard that, and I said, okay, Lord, I hear what you're saying, but what are you trying to tell me? And all of a sudden, like that, I've sent you somebody. And I realized, and so I called my wife, she was at work, and I said, who is that again that's got a product that might help me? And so I actually drove up here, she lives not too far from here, drove up here and went to her house, and I said, I'm ready to try that product a little bit. Well, I did try it. She's very cautious. She wanted me to start on, she knew I'd had heart problems, so she wanted me to start on a Smart Mix. Well, in 3 weeks on the Smart Mix, my knees wouldn't hurt. I mean, literally was not hurting.
That's awesome.
Okay, I said, so I went back to her and I said, well, I'm ready to do something with this, and she got to talking to me about the other products, and I found out the Super Mix had twice as much moringa. So I said, well, I definitely don't want to stay on the Smart Mix, I want to go to that. Well, I went ahead and bought in. I was excited. I bought in with the 13, I mean, as high as I could go.
Right.
And not even really thinking about the business yet. I just knew I was going to use all that product.
Absolutely.
I mean, literally thought, well, it ain't going to make no difference. I do have the money right now. Might not have it too much longer, so I'm going to get all the product I can get right now. So that's what I did. And I didn't get rid of none of it. I actually used it all, but that's okay. I'm still buying more of it because I can't go without it. But anyway, to make a longer story shorter, I've lost 70-some pounds since I started on the moringa. And that was just on the nutrition. I wasn't even doing the weight loss at first. I do it now, the weight management, but not necessarily as much for weight loss. People won't believe this, but the weight loss to me is a side effect. I'll tell you what I'm excited about. I feel good. I haven't felt good in 20 years. I mean, I'm telling you, I have not felt good in forever. And losing weight is not the cure-all. I'm telling you, it's great and it helps, but it's not the cure-all. Everything else. I tell you, I'm better spiritually, and I was a spiritual man then, but I'm better spiritually now. I'm better. The Lord teaches that He wants to heal us spirit, soul, and body. I mean, He teaches us that in the Word, and some of us can't grasp parts of it. So I was grasping everything spiritually, but I wasn't understanding that He wanted my body, my soul healthy. He says, in one scripture it says, I would that you prosper as your soul prospers. Okay, so the next thing that happened was my soul started prospering. I started recognizing that the Lord wanted more from me than just my spiritual. I'm telling you, you can get bound in spiritualism if you're not careful. You don't let it take any, manifest anything. Well, now I'm believing that the Lord wants me whole all over. My knees don't hurt. I'm not even going to get a knee replacement operation. I don't need it now. My muscles are starting to get stronger around my knees and taking care of it. No neuropathy. I've not had any neuropathy medicine now since about 3 months after I started the nutrition. And I had to wake up one morning and realize, wait a minute, I'm not having that pain. So I just took myself off of it. And I realized my feet don't do that no more. My hands don't do that no more. Okay? My blood pressure medicine, I wasn't going to the doctor like I was supposed to. He wants me there every 3 months to do all this. But the blood workup is $700 and some. He wants me to have every 3 months. Okay? My wife had lost her job. We lost our insurance. So I just told him I won't be back until somebody pays for it besides me because I can't afford it. Well, I have some insurance now, so I recently went back to him. My blood workup was perfect. My good cholesterol, he said, was great. My bad cholesterol was the lowest he'd seen. It's healthy people that have that, he said. I have lost 70-some pounds, which he couldn't believe, too. And I finally told him, I said, look, Doc, I've already took myself off the blood pressure medicine, the neuropathy medicine, and I went down the list. And I said, I did that because my blood pressure was getting so low, I was starting to get dizzy and feel like I was having a stroke. And I started checking my blood pressure, and it's low. And so he just sat there and listened to all this, and I'm down to where I'm on 3 medications right now. It still has to do with the blood sugar, and I'm taking a potassium tablet because he had me on fluid pills. Well, I went off the fluid medication this week myself. I took myself off of it because I've been noticing it's been causing me to cramp at nights. So I went off of it. I'm taking the potassium still, thinking that that's going to help me a little while, but I'm probably fixing to go off it. I'll be on 1 medication now. And it's only the medication that the heart doctor still tells me I need because he thinks there's something wrong with me. But I'm telling you, it's the product I'm sold on. And I don't know if I'll ever make as much money as these guys in the business. But if I don't, the good Lord's going to provide for me somehow because I'm going to keep taking the product. And I'm trying to help everybody that I love here because the best bunch of people go to church and don't see people that believe and have faith and are as good-hearted and as willing to help as you do in this business. And that's sad to say. But you hear a lot of negativity even within people that is in church. And I want to tell you, I don't hear no negativity. And I don't want to hear no more negativity. It's positive, it's great. And I'm just impressed with these people. And I think you will be too if you get involved. And I think you should.
All right, Don. Hey, I'm telling you right now, when Don speaks, if I was brand new here today, I would just get up, walk out and say, where's the application? I'm not kidding you. When you can tell when people mean it, when they speak from the heart, you can tell when somebody's life has changed, right?
Preach it, Don.
I'm telling you, man. I'm going to start calling him Dr. Don,
not
too.
to cry. I'm sorry.
Well, it's okay.
I mean, I'll fight that.
We're excited for you because I took myself off of a lot of meds too, and my doctor wasn't happy when I told him I took myself off. He said, "What doctor told you to do that?" And I said, "Dr. Scott did." right?
Oh,
So,
by the way, I told my doctor, he asked me what I'd been doing that was so good. Said, you hadn't been to see me in over a year. And I said, I've been doing nutrition. And he cut me off like that. And he's a good guy. I like talking to him.
Yep.
But I mean, he didn't want to hear about
You
nutrition.
wouldn't believe me if I
absolutely. Well, doctors don't study nutrition.
No.
They study whatever it says in that book they need to give you when you're sick, right? And I don't hold it against them because most people aren't willing. If they said, take this nutrition, walk 3 miles a day, do this and that and that, most people wouldn't do it, so they give you the pill and think that's the fix.
Right.
But you know what? You can work with people like Don in this business. That's the exciting part of it. You know, a long time ago I heard a quote by J. Paul Getty, who was a billionaire back when it would be like triple gazillionaire now. It was so long ago. And he said, find something that everybody needs, right, that everybody needs, that gets used up. And if you can get involved in that industry, right, if you can sell that, you can make all the money you ever need to make, right? Well, everybody needs this, right? Another really smart guy said, there's no need to go out and reinvent the wheel, right? Use other people's ideas. The ideas are already out there. Guess what? We didn't invent the nutrition industry, right? He said find other people's efforts. You got to have other people working to make you money when you're not working. And then he said the other thing you need is other people's money. Use other people's money to finance your business, right? Well, most of us, when we got started, financed it with a credit card. It was somebody else's money. As long as you pay it off in 30 days, you don't even pay any interest. Pretty exciting stuff. And you know, there is a flip side. My youngest son, Caesar, is 14 years old. He's trying to gain weight, trying to get taller. He wants to put on muscle. And guess what? He takes the same product that Don and I take, right? The product doesn't just make you lose weight. It makes your body healthy so it does what it's supposed to do. Isn't that awesome? So I'm going to show you a quick video, and then I got a surprise treat for everybody today.
Faces one of the biggest challenges ever that will affect our health and overall well-being in the future. While food is more abundant and readily available than ever before, we are still not getting the proper nutrition that we need to be healthy and to thrive. Today's obesity epidemic affects more and more people every day. The time for change is now. Zija International is committed to making that change. Zija International is a multi-million-dollar network marketing company with tens of thousands of independent distributors and customers throughout the world. Our unique products and business opportunity are providing improved health and financial opportunities never before seen. Since we began in 2005, Zija has quickly become an industry leader, experiencing remarkable growth, doubling every year. Zija's success story begins with one man discovering a tree grown in faraway lands. This man is Ken Brailsford, a pioneer in the nutritional supplement industry. He's known as the father of herbal encapsulation and now founder of Zija International.
I was happily retired until a friend called me up and wanted to show me a video that he had recorded off of the Discovery Channel. He wanted me to go into business with him. I was just going to watch it and tell him, no thank you, I've done that, I don't need to do it again. But I watched the video on Moringa oleifera, and by the time I finished, I knew I had to be involved with it. It was something that was great and the world needed, and I felt impressed and spiritually prompted that this is something I needed to do. And so I became involved with my friend in a business venture that would change the lives of countless people throughout the world.
Moringa is so much more than Ken even anticipated. It's a nourisher, a healer, a beautician, a humanitarian. Gram for gram, fresh moringa leaves contain 4 times the calcium of milk, 4 times the vitamin A of carrots, 2 times the protein of yogurt, 3 times the potassium of bananas, and 7 times the vitamin C of oranges.
The health benefits of moringa are truly amazing. It's been shown to deliver anti-inflammatory support, promote healthy digestion, heighten mental clarity, increase energy, provide natural anti-aging benefits, while also nourishing the body's immune system, regulating blood glucose level, promoting healthy circulation, decreasing appetite to promote a healthy weight and increase memory function. But perhaps the most amazing thing about moringa are the hundreds of research articles that have been published in just the last few years, suggesting that we have just begun to understand the true potential moringa has in delivering a healthy lifestyle.
Ken enlisted the help of Russ Bianchi, world-renowned scientist, food formulator, and president of Adept Solutions, a leading global product development and formulation firm. Russ began creating new ways to maximize Moringa's health benefits. The result is Zija's extensive line, including nutritional drink mixes, energy and performance products, a complete weight loss and management system, and an innovative skincare line. Each one of these products provide all of Moringa's over 90 verifiable benefits, including cell-ready vitamins, minerals, vital proteins, antioxidants, and omega oils. Zija's Moringa trees are grown on proprietary farms in dry, hot climates where they thrive. The trees, organically raised without chemicals, are harvested carefully by hand, then shade-dried, ensuring that essential nutrients remain intact. Unlike other Moringa products on the market, Zija uses all of the most nutrient-rich parts of the tree, the leaves, the seeds, and the fruit. All of Zija's products are manufactured in a state-of-the-art pharmaceutical-grade facility in Linden, Utah. The processes that go into creating our products are carefully executed to ensure the highest quality possible. In addition to providing nutrient-rich products, Zija provides an amazing business opportunity to anyone searching for a way to achieve financial and time freedom. Joining the Zija family gives you access to all of the tools and benefits you need to succeed. There has never been a more exciting time to be involved in the health and wellness industry. It's the next trillion-dollar economic sector. Participating in this growth will create more millionaires than ever before, many of them Zija independent distributors.
Zija International is truly a global company. Our opportunity is now available on nearly every continent. We're opening new markets every few months, and our independent distributors enjoy the opportunity to share their Moringa message with friends, family, and associates worldwide.
A major driving force behind the success of Zija International is its corporate leadership.
I've handpicked the executive team to make the company strong and to give the distributors and those in the field every bit of information and knowledge that they need and the tools that they need to become successful. This executive team has over 100 years experience in the MLM industry, and that background understanding is what is needed to be completely successful. Everything is in place for the distributor to make them successful, and the company is there to support the distributors in every way possible.
Our executive team is unrivaled in the industry. I'm proud to work with such a dedicated team of individuals focused on a common goal.
Health through proper nutrition, financial freedom, personal development, and living an active lifestyle. These are the pillars that define Life Unlimited. See, it is our goal to provide a vehicle for you to create your own destiny, to achieve your goals. We believe that proper nutrition and giving your body the proper fuel will allow you to feel your best and go out and seek after those things that you desire. Financial freedom is a reality at Zija International. And personal development can change the way you look at life, can change your perspective on life, and strengthen and support you to navigate the challenges of life. Living an active lifestyle is simply getting out and doing the things that you enjoy doing. Feel your best, look your best, be your best, and have the energy to do the things that you want to do and fulfill and achieve your personal goals. Here's to you, living Life Unlimited.
Someone could adjust the camera up there for me, please. All right. So now you know what I'm talking about. When I got online and looked up the CEO of the company and the management team, it was a no-brainer, right? Then I saw, like I said, I saw Brandon drive around at 26 years old, you know, in a Mercedes. Then I met Kevin, who's living in this neighborhood, who didn't have a job, nor did his wife. And I was like, you know what, guys? Success leaves clues. I've had people come over here before, a few people, and see what we're doing and go home and call me back and say, yeah, I don't think I can do that. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Did you not hear the beginning of my story? I couldn't do anything. Everything I tried failed until I got in network marketing, and I had people that were willing to reach down and help pull me up and teach me things. I've got a guy living next door to me that makes more a month than the average person in Kentucky makes a year. Probably higher than the average person in Kentucky makes a year, right? And when someone like that says, all you have to do is get started, let me hold my hand down here and help pull you up, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know. Well, you know what? If you don't want to move up in life and do better and have some freedom and stuff, don't get started, right? But if you do, you better find somebody that's leaving clues, because success leaves clues, right? If not, someone like Kevin, right? Who's it gonna be? If not someone like Brandon, if not someone like Annell, if not someone like Casey, who are you gonna pick? If Tyler Berry says, I'm willing to work with you and show you how, and you say no, who are you gonna find? That's what I asked myself when I was sitting there 20-something years ago, and I asked myself that again recently. Guys, God has been very good to me. I've had a lot of blessings. I've been very fortunate to be able to be in the right place at the right time. But I also had the right attitude because of things that people taught me along the way. And when the opportunity arose, my attitude was right to take advantage of it, right? So tonight, we're very fortunate. I talked with Kevin earlier, and he said he would be coming by tonight, and I said, man, why don't you do the ending? Why don't you close down the meeting for us tonight, kind of break it down why you got started with Zija? And I said, at that point, I don't want to talk anymore. I want you to hear from someone that's been doing this a lot longer than me. Guys, if someone's making more, seriously, a month than people make a year, take notes, and when it's over, tell them where to meet you. That's all I can say. Kevin Brassell.
That's the man. Don's the man. Did you hear him preaching? Hey, I appreciate all you guys. Thanks, Annell, and everyone that's sharing stories. This is all about just opening your mouth, right? Just sharing story, just reaching down to help people. I met this weekend. I met with a 6-figure monthly income earner from Amway, and he had a big fat Super Bowl ring, bigger than mine, on. And a picture on his ring is just like a picture of two hands, like clasping, because he was trying to symbolize this is what it's all about. You just hold your hand. Come on, Don. See? So just hold your hand out and help somebody else to the top. That's what this is all about. It's not about sales. It's not about. Would you agree that Scott's a great speaker?
Yeah.
Okay, let's give Scott a hand. I mean, you got people that are prepared and ready to go to work for you. When I first started this, guys, I was a nervous wreck with mom and dad and my wife and one guest, right, in my own house. I was nervous. But now, like he said, I grew into the leader that God wanted me to be ready to help Don with his health and to help Marty with his readiness and help other people. So this thing is all about just, get a little inspired by what you're hearing. Look at the facts. I encourage you, draw that line in the sand and to say, that's what I need to be all in. And then once you get that, then be all in. Don't have any more reservations. Research, do your due diligence to say, well, this makes sense and I can do it. Because that's all anybody's ever looking at with this. They're saying, well, does this make sense? And can I do what they're doing? And absolutely yes, because Larissa, has Larissa said anything here? Larissa's kind of new. She's plugging in, trying to help her sons, but she's kind of new. But has she said anything tonight? No, she's just plugging into the resources and letting other people go to bat, letting other people go to work. So that's what you can do. Get inspired a little bit, enough to share it. Say, I need to know, how much caffeine is in XM3. And once I know that, then I'm in. So, think of whatever question you have. Find that, but don't what I call research the research. Something we call it analysis to paralysis. Sometimes it's like you can walk in the room and you can look at the light switch and think all day long, how does that electricity get to the light? And then you're just frozen in the dark. Or you can just trust the system is in place, flip the switch and enjoy the light. Right? That's what we have. We have a switch. We have a cookie cutter template system that anyone can do. All these resources are available at drinklifein.com. All you have to do is plug people into those videos, plug them into a conference call. Fabian, I just texted out to 100 people, and they're going to text it out to 100 people, and thousands will get impacted because tonight I'm going to be doing the opportunity call at 9 o'clock Central. I just told it in that room right there, I closed out another event that had 15 or 20 people in Washington, D.C. I told them the same thing. They might not have even known. So now they're going to plug people into that call. And that's the system that we have in place that's going to work for you. Anybody can plug into that. I was just like you. I was sitting in a chair at a PBR learning, kick back, just getting educated for the first time just a few short years ago, guys. In the same position as you. But so I listened, and I always like to wrap this up on 5 fingers here. Because Ken Brailsford is a beast. His story is there. You can dig deeper if needed. Russ Bianchi and Dr. Plant, our product formulation team and the science behind it, that's all there. Moringa, You know, it's the most nutrient-rich plant ever discovered on planet Earth. I saw that in the Discovery Channel documentary and the Johns Hopkins medical study. And I got to page 14 and fell asleep. You know, it's like a 100-page abstract, but I'm not a scientist. I was satisfied with a little bit. So I saw the science, I saw the pen, I saw Russ, I saw the moringa, and then I've learned, you know, network marketing. It's produced more millionaires than any other way of making money on the planet. And the missing element, I always call it the thumb in the 5-finger presentation. The missing element was me. You know, am I coachable and teachable and open to following a proven system that works? It's pretty proven, isn't it, Fabian? You just done a couple of things and things happen. So, am I coachable? And then think about yourself. Are you coachable and teachable, open to following a proven system? For me, yes. I said, when I heard Chris Estes' story and how he doubled his income as a teacher and coach in 7 months, Brian, in 7 months, you know, with an opportunity. I saw he did it, and I said, put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. You know, he was a school teacher and coach, and maybe he was. When you hear his story, and now you can read his book at theappleprinciple.com, but he was sitting on the sidelines of life. He had a little baby on the way. Him and his wife was working full-time as a teacher. He was a teacher and coach. His wife was also out waitressing, you know, for extra money. People work extra jobs because they like to, Don? Not really. Half the time they say that, but it's for money. But there's another way, an ends to the mean, and a way to produce income. So then you can go on mission trips, like Don maybe talks about, and you can do the other things that's important in life. And that's what Chris found. He opened his mind, and that's what they say. Your mind is like a parachute. It's best when it's open, right? It's kind of dangerous. You have a parachute on it, it's not going to open. So he opened his mind, and thank God, right? Thank God for the paychecks that this creates. Because if it wasn't for the drive and ambition that Chris found in the business, not just in the products are great, right? How many pounds?
On Zija, 70.
Just on Zija, and he's done a lot more on his own. But so all these stories, the product's great, but the business and the drive that this creates and inspiration through people, it's impacted so many people. We wouldn't be here if Chris hadn't caught fire. So I caught fire from Chris. That's what we do. It's like we light a candle and we just light each other's candles, and then we burn, right? XM burn, burn baby. And so I'm super excited about all kind of stuff that's going on. Out here, I'll wrap up my version of the presentation. I want to show you something here, but I'm going to tell you something that gave me chills that I heard on the call and that I closed out this other event in that other room. So the end of my story is I saw the facts. I listened to Chris. I said, teach me, man. I'm ready to rock. I didn't need a fancy, unbelievable story to take action. I just, started telling people. I said, my first presentation was pretty short. I said, Mom, I need your credit card.